Come on in. Robert's building me a fire, and let's come up with some music. Here we go. Yeah. Come on in, everybody. Come on in.
Within these walls, home is just a word, a fairy tale I'd heard that always kept me searching. Within these walls, home is now the place
Come on in.
of refuge and escape. Serenity surrounds me. A miracle is happening to me. I'm finally learning what a home can be. Within these walls, I have learned to fly, to take charge of my life, and find the peace inside me. Within these walls, we love and work and play, finding joy along the way. And now I want to stay within these walls. Within these walls, my thoughts would pull me down. I wouldn't look around to see that love surrounds me. Within these walls, friends now gather here, and laughter fills the air. It's all that I was wanting. I've tried before to do it on my own. Now I found a way to make a home. Within these walls, I have learned to fly, to take charge of my life, and find the peace inside me. Within these walls, we love and work and play, finding joy along the way. And now I want to stay within these walls.
Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Well, I'm drinking my water today. My son I talked to him just a few minutes ago, and he's been drinking his water. He's had 3 water bottles full, and his headache is gone. I'm just really, I was not worried. I knew he would get better if I could get him to drink his water, and he's always been a good water drinker. So he's got his water in him, and his headache went away. I am so thankful. So, and I heard from Mike Morales. He's out driving, going to Branson, Missouri, to measure some stuff, and he says he feels great. So, y'all, prayers work. Your prayers work. They are just amazing. And I know it's the faith of the people, but some people don't even know we're praying for them, Don't even know they're being prayed for. And that's just powerful stuff. Anyway, we've got great praises right now. Just great praises. And I've been studying about tithing. And that's sort of the stories I'm going to tell you today. Um, Stories that have happened to fly babies, and stories that have happened to me, and things that I live by. And I was listening to the intelligence briefing on Elijah streams, and I've got it up here to post the link. There it is. That's the intelligence briefing for today. And Mr. Steve Schultz and Robin Bullock was on, and it was powerful. Kim has an unspoken prayer, please. So we're praying for Kim. But here, I have been wanting to learn more about tithing and offering and different things. I know what I was taught. I wasn't taught much about it growing up. I don't know much about it, but early on, um, in Fly Lady, I mean, we hadn't even probably been going a month, and we go to the Chinese restaurant, and I get a fortune cookie. Not that I believe in fortune cookies, but it said, when you continually give, you will continually have. And so I'm listening to Robin talk about his early married life and how he had made a living working in bars, and now that he had become a Christian, he knew he couldn't go back to bars and playing rock and roll and in the bars. He knew he couldn't do that. He said, God, how am I going to make a living for my family? And he figured out a way. He figured out a way with God's help. God said, you know, maybe you need to be a carpenter. So he started making some furniture, little furniture for little people. And it's just, you got to go listen to it for yourself. It's a powerful testimonial on tithing and giving. And the biggest gift in the Bible was two mites given by a widow woman who had nothing. That's all she had. And she gave it to the Lord. So, learning how to give is a powerful lesson. We hold on to all our clutter everywhere. We hold on to the clutter in our closets, the clutter, our clothes clutter. We keep our fat clothes and our skinny clothes, and there's people that need clothes. We hold on to this stuff like crazy, and we just we don't know how to let it go. And we've got to learn to let it go. Let something go. If we give something away every day, we could give something away every day for the next 10 years. But we've got to get it out of our home so we can live, so we can do what we need to do. We need to live. And if we're hoarding things, we're not doing God's will. Early on, I've been teaching about giving and blessing others instead of having a yard sale. Just give stuff away. Now's the time. I mean, you could put stuff out by your front yard and put a free sign on it, and it'll be gone before you get back to the house. So, learning to bless others, and you don't have to be in control of where things go either. You don't have to be in control of where things go. You just have to put it out there. So when you can, and I got that fortune cookie twice, not just once, but twice. When you continually give, you will continually have. And we see people in the Bible, in the Old Testament, tithing. They give 1/10 of everything. If they got 10 sheep, they gave 1/10 to the church. Well, early on in Fly Lady, we had a fly baby who had a fire, and she lived in New England somewhere. And my sister Dina, she worked at Walmart at the time. And Dina said, get me their name and where they lived, and I'll call the local Walmart and we'll get them set up where they can get some things there. And our fly babies donated to a gift card for them. And Walmart goes through all the proper things, checking to make sure there was a fire. They lost their kitten. They lost everything they had. And one of our fly babies was going to write a check to send to them. And the husband saw that she was writing the check. And he told her, just add another zero to it. Whatever she was going to give, she added a zero to it. And in a few weeks, this was phenomenal. They had had a bad storm many years before that. Hurricane Floyd they had lost everything. Everything. They had lost tools, and insurance wouldn't pay for them. And before the check could even be cashed practically, they get a check in the mail for 10 times the amount that they had given to the flybaby who had had a fire and lost everything. And I get this testimony. My husband's a believer now. My husband is a believer now. So, y'all, when you give and you give from your heart, you don't give because you want to get something out of it. You give from your heart. When you continually give, you will continually have. God will take care of you. What was it with Elijah? That the lady only had enough oil and flour for their dinner. And he said, if you'll fix me something to eat, you'll be blessed. And she kept having enough oil. Every time she went to pour more oil out, she had some. Same way with the flour. She always had what she needed. So, folks, practice giving. Practice loving each other. When you hear the Lord say, one time I was sitting in a depot in Boston, getting ready to get on a train to come home. And I heard the Lord say, you have to give those people over there $20. And I didn't have $20. So I looked at Robert and I said, honey, can I have a $20 bill? He reached in his pocket, pulled me out a $20 bill, and I took it over and handed it to the lady. Walked away. You know when you got to do it. You know when you have to do it. I've told you my story about cooking Thanksgiving dinner and finding, having my bottle of pocket change, $23.82. I was blessed. I was blessed. Yeah, there's the story of the loaves and fishes. He gave his loaves and fishes, and Jesus blessed it, and it made more. And they collected 12 baskets of food afterwards. So when you continually give, and you give with this beautiful heart of love, God's going to take care of you. He'll do it. You just have to let him. So be aware of what's going on around you. When you see a need, fill it. I don't understand how it works, but God knows. God knows. God knows we have to bless others with our abundance, and we will be blessed in return. It might not be with more things, but it's going to help you to take care of others. Something's outside. I don't know what it is. Anyway, if you have a story, about how God blessed you, I remember times when I was a little kid and we didn't have food. And if it hadn't been for the little lady who owned the grocery store, her daughter-in-law is sometimes in our group. If it hadn't been for her, Miss Jones, I don't know that we would have survived. And sometimes it was just bologna and bread. But she took good care of us. She let us charge things. And I know, Mama, I don't, you know, maybe Mama finally paid her off. I don't know. I was too little to know. It all goes to God's glory. So think about what you can give away and bless others with. Maybe it's just handing somebody. I always keep $100 bill handy in case I see a need somewhere. And when God tells you to do something, you have to do it. You have to do it. I don't like to tell stories about me, but one time Michelle and I got a flight. I think we were going to Salt Lake. We were going to St. George, Utah to see Eric. We had an event to do. And we get on the plane, and it's a 6:00 flight. It is a 6:00 flight. If Michelle had bought the tickets, I would have been upset and probably fired her because I don't do 6:00 flights because it means we have to get up and be at the airport by 4. So we get on the plane and Michelle gets buckled down, ready to take a 30-minute nap because it's 30 minutes to Atlanta. And she gets in the plane and she's all bundled up, headphones on, ready to go to sleep for a little while. And the flight attendant's name is George. Isn't that funny? His name was George and we were going to St. George. And he was a comic. He was so funny. He just made me laugh. And I had a $100 bill in my wallet. And I had my purse in my wallet. I had a little purse and I could get to my wallet easily. And I got that $100 bill out. And as I left the plane, I stuck the $100 bill in his coat pocket. Because he was that good. I don't know why God told me to do it. Because I've never done that before or after. But I listened to God. And as we walked down the jetway and we're walking into the airport, I told Michelle, I said, we should get online and tell his boss he's a really good flight attendant. And I think we found a way to do that. And we got to go from Atlanta to Salt Lake and then from Salt Lake to St. George. And it's a long flight. But we get there about noontime, St. George time, 9 hours, like 3:00 in the afternoon in where we live. And I get off the phone and I get off the plane and we're walking out to Eric's truck and you have to have an ice chest to get up into Eric's truck because Eric's truck's too tall. But we're at Eric's truck. He's got our luggage and my phone rings and it's my sister Patty. And she said, "What did you do?" And I said, "What do you mean? What did I do? I forgot about it already." She said, "We got a testimonial." And the testimonial was from a flight attendant who had given. I'm not going to be able to tell this. At church on Sunday, they were taking up an offering for Bibles for third world countries. And he gave everything he had. And he didn't know how he was going to eat on his trek around the country the way they do. He didn't know. But he had given all the money he had for this third world country's Bibles. And his testimonial was, I didn't know how I was going to feed myself this week, and this lady stuck $100 bill in my pocket. And he was praising the Lord that God took care of him. So you see, I didn't know I was helping God to help him. I just knew God told me what to do. So folks, we got to listen. And if we're so wrapped up in the chaos of our home, we can't hear the Lord. So the minute you get rid of the chaos, you can hear what the Lord has for you to do. How did Patty hear about it? Well, Patty gets my email. Patty answers my email right now. She didn't let me answer it. Patty answers it. And she read the testimonial. And so she's telling me about it, and I said, well, I did put $100 bill in his pocket as we left the plane. And she said, I knew it was you. She said, I knew it was you. That's just my sister, you know? We know each other pretty well. I've known her for 64 years. Who's cutting onions? Yeah. Anyway, folks, I love y'all so much. I hope you find the joy that I have found when it comes to giving. It's like you have a bottomless pit. It just keeps you keep having more to give. You keep having more to give. I was crying listening to Robin Bullock and Steve Schultz. His story about going couch diving and looking through every purse and every coat and every jacket and finding $11. And God said, give it all. And he gave it all. It's just a beautiful story. We've all gone couch diving. I know that for a fact. Some of them make an Olympic sport out of it. She's telling sister. There's only 14 months difference between me and Patty. And I'm the oldest. Anyway, folks, figure out a way to give. Right now, there are people in this country that don't have anything, that have nothing. And you got toy boxes full of toys that your children don't even play with. You've got games they've never played with. You've got clothes that you can't wear. You just got to get them someplace where they can be utilized. Go out and buy a toy to give to Toys for Tots. There's collection boxes everywhere. Anyway, folks, I love you all. Be good, kind, and sweet. Be good to yourself, kind to others, and let the sweetness and the joy that comes from the good Lord show the world that you are a child of the Most High God. Yes, I am her bossy sister, big sister. Bless others with your abundance. If you have something in your house that gives you a bad memory, turn it around and give it away and bless someone with that. It'll give it a good memory then. I've done it. I know how wonderful it is. Be good, kind, and sweet. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Father in heaven, thank you so much for your pastors and prophets teaching us your word and helping us to understand it in terms that we can understand. Thank you so much for giving us strength and patience, love and kindness in our hearts. Thank you for the intuition that you give us every day, because we can feel a need from somebody even if they never express it. We know. Father in heaven, please forgive us of our sins. Thank you for sending your Son to die on the cross for us. Keep us safe from evil. Keep us strong so that we're not afraid of anything. We're afraid of nothing, Lord. Nothing. We are strong in you. You have our back. You have every part of us. Don't allow the news media to play havoc with our feelings. Turn off the news. Thank you, Lord, for giving us off and on switches. Thank you for filling our hearts with love and for sharing this love that you have for us and us sharing it with others. It's all about paying it forward, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are such a blessing to us every day. We praise you, Lord. Thank you for the healing for my son and Emily. Thank you for the healing for Mike Morales. We praise you, Lord, that you have done this with just simple prayers. We knew you could. We knew it was going to happen. I love you, Lord, with all my heart. Please keep my fly babies keep my fly babies safe, and please help Kim, who has an unspoken prayer request. We know that you can do whatever she needs. All these things we ask in your Son's holy name, Jesus. Amen. Okay, folks. Now's the time. I love you all. I love you all. I'll see you later. Bye. Trying to find where I end the stream.